I've never lost my faith in God. I've never had this great crisis of conscience when it comes to my religion. I did have a crisis of conscience when it came to my science. There was a time in my scientific career when things seemed to be going all wrong, when I had developed enemies. There were scientists who didn't want to quote my work, who were jealous of what I had done, who thought I had, acted improperly, and I thought they were acting improperly, and we couldn't speak to each other at meetings. And I got to the point where I was wondering, why am I doing this? Why study the moons of Jupiter when there are people starving in the world? When I went to Africa in the Peace Corps to get away from science, and I discovered that the people in Africa also wanted to know about meteorites and the moons of Jupiter and how the universe works, because this is what makes us human, then my faith in science was restored. But it's my religion that ultimately gives me the faith to do science. And it's my science that gives me the tools to understand ever more deeply the truths I've learned from my religion. And I would never want to give up either one. Why do we do the science? Is it to make us rich? Boy, did I choose the wrong job if that's the case. Why do I go into the lab every day? I can say in the immediate fact that I'm doing it because I'm curious. I'm doing it because I want to share these things with my scientist friends. But when I discover something that is beautiful and elegant, and in its beauty and elegance is a reflection of God, it's a kind of evangelization to share that also with my friends, with my neighbors, with my parents. But beyond that, it's when I go into schools, it's when I talk to kids who are third or fourth graders and start describing to them how the solar system looks to me, and I see the excitement in their eyes. That's when I remember why I'm doing this. That's where they're giving me the energy and the desire to do it more and to do it better, and to remember that I worked all my life to be able to do this because I started out as a second and a third and a fourth grader with the dream to be able to touch a piece of outer space. In a funny way, my research is entirely abstract. I look at some of the farthest bodies in the solar system to try to figure out what's out there and just make an inventory of the solar system. I do rather mundane measurements of not at all mundane rocks, pieces of the solar system. But even in this work, I'm reminded every day that the universe is bigger than just me and what's for lunch. I'm reminded that the sky overhead is not an impenetrable barrier, that this universe is a big and real place, a place that I can touch. When the meteorites come to Earth and I can hold them in my hand when I work on them in the lab, when the light from distant objects makes its little impact on my electronic cameras, not only can I touch this universe, but I can begin to understand it. Where does the faith that I can do science comes from? It comes from faith in a creator who is good enough to want to give us puny human beings the ability to study and the curiosity to want to study.